This coming Tuesday, November the 3rd, is Election Day. Some people get really energized and excited around election days, but I've talked to a number of people who have said that at least this year, they're really ready for it to be over. Part of the challenge around elections is that they both do and do not have determining influence on our lives. On the one hand, it is clear that elections have consequences. Government has enormous power to influence our lives, which is why our Reformed tradition insists that participation in political process is so vital, because governmental decisions and actions affect the lives of so many people. On the other hand, it is also clear that there are very many things that government cannot do. The government cannot tell your heart whom to love. The government cannot tell your heart whom to worship and adore. Governments cannot control your conscience. Down through history, different governments have tried to do these things, but ultimately the human heart is beyond the control of any human government. Our Reformed tradition has long said that God alone is Lord of the conscience. Many an earthly ruler has been frustrated by this. One formulation that the church has developed down through the years is that Christians are to be in the world, but not of the world. In John chapter 17, Jesus says that his followers, that we are sent into the world, but that we do not belong to the world. Jesus sends his followers into the world. We do not get to remove ourselves permanently from the messy realities of the world. We do not get to say that the problems of the world are not our problems, that the suffering of the world is of no concern to us. And we know that after the election, we will still have a lot of work to do. Fear and failure to trust God will still be realities in the world and inside of us. Racial injustice and white supremacy will still be problems in the world and inside of us. Mistreatment and avoidance of the poor and the vulnerable will still be realities in the world and inside of us. Polarization and animosity towards our opponents will still be a reality in the world and inside of us, and many more. We are sent into the world in mission and in service and in love, and there is a lot of work to do. But at the same time, we do not belong to the world. Our lives may be deeply affected by the problems of the world, but ultimately, the world cannot take away our joy. We engage in our mission, in our work, not with anxiety about outcomes, but as witnesses to God's sovereignty and God's love for the world. The world cannot take away our joy, our peace, or our future, because all of those are ultimately held by God and not by the world. So, let us pray for our country during these days. Let us pray for each other. Let us pray for the will to work together to address our different challenges. And let us pray for deeper faith, deeper hope, deeper love, and a deeper commitment to God's purposes in the world. Friends, be safe, be well, and may we sense where God is calling us to go in the days to come. We'll see you soon.